On day 2 at Slab City, I got up pretty early and grabbed my camera, just kept it in my hand and just walked around. I wanted to explore the city. I wanted to go to some of the more popular places, the library, the internet cafe. I was hoping to make it to East Jesus, but I actually didn't make it to East Jesus. I said in my last video that it was day 2, but it was actually day 3 that I went to East Jesus. So on day 2, I just kind of wandered aimlessly for hours and met people and talked to people. And when I encountered someone who made eye contact and smiled, some people didn't. They just kept their head down, and that's fine. I've said before, not to walk with fear, but to walk with caution. And part of what I have learned growing up, or living in some of the urban areas that I've lived in, is to be able to read body language. And if somebody doesn't look you in the eye, you're not going to say, "Hey, how's it going?" Just let them walk on by. But those who did make eye contact and smiled and said hi and were very friendly, I asked, how do people here feel about cameras? Is it okay to film here? And everybody said, ask permission. If you're going to film a person, just ask permission. But people are used to cameras, so nobody minds you walking around filming things. But just be respectful and ask people before you film their faces, which I had already pretty much figured I would do. So as I walked around, one of the first people I met was Jerry. I was wandering around the hostel, taking video. I was kind of in awe of the place and the experience. And he just, struck up a conversation with me about the fence that he built around his compound and keeping his tools safe, etc. And then I asked him, so how do people feel about cameras? And he said what I had heard and what I had suspected. Just be respectful and ask first. And he said, a lot of people wouldn't mind 5 minutes of fame. So I'm sure if you ask, some people would be more than happy to be filmed. So I left on my merry way to continue exploring, and after going to the library and meeting Cornelius Van Gogh, which I had a camera malfunction. She said hi on camera, and my camera malfunctioned, so I didn't get that, but Cornelius Van Gogh and her significant other, Caveman, were there playing a game, and she said hi on camera for me. And I asked her about the history of the library, and she directed me to her YouTube channel, so I'll put that in the description. I was really kind of hoping to get some more information directly from her, but she was busy and wanted to just direct me to her YouTube channel, so that's fine. But when I came back after she was so friendly, because I didn't ask, she came right out. I said, "Can I film the library?" She said, "Yes. Just don't film people without their permission." Common theme in Slab City. And so I'm walking around and I'm filming the library, and she said, "Hey, I don't mind saying hi. I have a YouTube channel too, and I help you by saying hi." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I walked over, and she and her talked about the game they were playing, the opposite of Monopoly. I can't remember the name of it, but the object is to lose all your money. I've heard of it before. Instead of winning all the money, which I think is how perfect for Slab City, right? Playing a game where the goal is to lose all your money. Kind of fits with the anti-consumerism, anti-materialism of Slab City. It's beautiful. It's poetic. So once I left the library, that's when the idea struck me. Oh my God, I want to do a segment on the people of Slab City. And I remembered my friend Jerry, who said some people would love a 5 minutes of fame, and I wondered if he was speaking for himself. So I went back to his compound and found him working outside and said, "Hey, can I interview you? I would love to hear about your experience in Slab City." And he said, "Absolutely, I would love to. And let me grab my wife, and I want to introduce you to my good friend. So come on in." So here is my interview with Jerry, Cindy, with Jerry and his wife Wendy and their friend Cindy.
This is Jerry and Wendy. And I met Jerry and Wendy walking to the library and to the hostel. You're in Slab City. Tell me why you come to Slab City.
That young lady over there was
That would be Cindy.
was actually broke down.
Oh.
We met in a campground in Nevada. Me and Wendy were just traveling the country. We spent 2 years and seen all the states. It's good, but that's how we got out here.
Okay.
Was Cindy, and she said, "Yes, well, just come out anytime." But I was talking to a man. I was very close-minded from South Dakota. 99% homophobic. Just that's how it is. And anyway, talked on the phone quite a bit, and I noticed a difference in voice, but I let it slide. And we were almost here, and she said, "Be prepared to meet Cindy." And I thought, well, maybe he's got a big girlfriend, but that's okay. And got here, and Cindy steps out with painted toenails and a wig. And wow. It took me 2 years to get to referring to Cindy as her and she, and but I did it. And now I do see a lot, and I'm open-minded about this stuff.
Yay.
But it was an eye-opener. This place here, you do see it a lot, and you don't see people using derogatory remarks about gays and lesbians and stuff, and I had to catch myself because I used them. So I checked myself, and I don't use them anymore. But it's good out here, and if you get in other places, it's still the derogatory is really mixed races here.
Yeah.
Have you noticed?
I did. I saw a couple black people, and they made me... I mean, one of the things I love about being from the Bay Area is diversity. And that's why I thought I would never be able to live anywhere else. I love diversity. I love people of all races, colors, religions, genders, everything. You know?
With RVing, if you will notice, any RV camp, to see a black person in an RV is just like seeing them at a hockey game. I don't understand.
Yeah, people of color write to me and say, are you aware of any people of color doing this? Because I'd like to follow them. Is it rude for me to bring up the trans thing?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Okay. I'm amazed at the number of trans LGBT people in the community. Several trans, lesbian, but I also wonder if part of it is just finding a place that you feel like you fit in.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's like I was in Quartzsite too.
Oh, you were?
When all that was going on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And Quartzsite is heavily Republican. Okay. It's heavy.
All of Arizona.
Old-fashioned rich people.
Yep.
Not really rich, but media. So consequently, I just do not belong there. I don't fit in with the crowd.
Did you feel it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have come out with us.
So
next time, come out to the RTR. RTR, cheaprvliving.com. It's called the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. Very accepting, very open. I've written to, because I have a lot of LGBT, transgender people who write to me, and lesbian couples. A lot of lesbian couples, because they want to do this and they're afraid.
Right.
Rightly so. Everybody is not San Francisco Bay Area. And I write back that that RTR community is disproportionately LGBT. It's not common in society. Right. And it's really interesting. As someone who really loves social issues and social justice and all that, I find it really fascinating and think about that. Why are there so many
That's why. Because it's like me. I mean, there's places that I feel perfectly safe and comfortable, like here.
Yeah.
You know. But there are places that, you know, I'm afraid to even get on my motorhome and get gas.
That's sad. It's really sad to me that we don't live in a society that just allows people to be who they are.
I know. Me too. Me too. But maybe we'll get there.
I hope so. Cindy, can I ask you as a woman?
Wendy.
I'm sorry, Wendy, you're Cindy. Tell me one of the things that I heard the most, and even well-meaning viewers wrote to me and said, I care about you too much. Please don't go to Slab City by yourself. Tell me, as a woman, what's your experience in Slab City?
I don't see any danger here.
Yeah, I haven't felt any. Yeah, you feel completely safe here. Even if Jerry weren't here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Cindy stayed here for years by herself.
Yeah.
and
Cindy, yeah, if you feel totally safe here as a woman alone?
Yeah.
You've never felt that you have been in danger?
No.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I came here, I didn't realize how accepting they were here. They really are accepting. They just, okay, fine, you know, no big deal.
Yeah.
They don't even talk about it. I mean, it's just.
Isn't that fascinating?
Now, there are some that come around that are, you know, old school and things like that. And they have a problem sometimes. But nothing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've never really had any really bad things said about me since I've been here.
Nice.
To my face.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I like it here.
And you come here for several months in the winter and then you travel around the country the rest of the time?
I did that for about 7 or 8 years, and then I stayed here for 3 summers, totally. And
Okay.
I built a place across the road, the Hostel place.
Oh.
That used to be mine. I built that. Well, me and another guy.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, yeah. And then I sold it, and I went back on the road again. This year I'm going to go to North Dakota, and spend some time with
Aw, you
Yeah.
guys are buddies now.
Yeah.
I love happy endings. So what keeps you coming back to Slab City?
Old junk cars.
What does that mean?
I can, in South Dakota, it's below zero. It's cold. And I spent 40 years there, run tow trucks. I still have a few. I do not like them anymore. I found a job that I only work in the summertime. We come down here for the weather, and I get to play with unbelievable anything I want. I can get up and wear a t-shirt and do mechanic work, and it's not real fair to this young lady. We need to do a little more traveling while we're down here. There is a little drug factor out here. Younger crowd comes in, some of them, and they usually do not stay long. Most of it that does happen is drug related. Anything that'll sell quick and
Yeah.
and
Getting worried about my solar panels sitting out. In broad daylight, it shouldn't be a problem, should it?
No.
No, yeah, I didn't think so.
and if you're up
You
by
know-
the church,
Okay.
there, Solar Mike.
Yeah. I'm right across from Solar Mike.
You're in a very good area.
Okay. But last night I was like, well, should I pull my solar panels in? You know, you don't want to be stupid either.
Right.
And I decided I didn't want to pull them in the house, but I did pull them up next to the rig.
There you go.
Folded them up, put them up next to the rig, and that way if they moved in the middle of the night, at least I'd hear it. I woke up this morning, went outside, I left my keys sitting right there on my folding chair, right outside my rig. I'm like, smart move. Just worried about my solar panels, and here I left the keys to my house sitting right outside. But it just goes to show you, nothing happened to me. I'm still
Camp sat here for 11 months this time. We had to go back early last year.
Right, this is your camp, and you just leave it. Yeah, you don't pack everything up and take it with you. I hadn't even thought of that. This is your homestead.
Yeah.
This is your summer vacation home.
Yes. A good neighborhood if you want to, but there is neighborhoods here.
I've noticed that.
And this is a good neighborhood.
Yes.
I do put inside anything that is
Really valuable. Yeah.
And I put it inside of a rough enough looking trailer to where it does not look like it's got something in it.
Yep.
And out of sight, out of mind. And that is how it is.
What is the reality of it, actually? I guess is my question.
here?
How many people out here are because they have to?
A lot, because they I think there's a lot of people here that were homeless
Yep.
in a city life that are here now and have a sense of having a home, whether it's a blanket under a tree or a shack they built, or they got an old camper or a car or whatever, but they have they can set their stakes or whatever, put a few rocks around, and it's theirs, and people respect that, and they come by and they say it's yours, and it gives them a feeling of self-esteem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Opposed to,
And a home, a place to call home, and
Right.
safety, because I would imagine it's safer here than on the streets in some of the big cities.
I would have to
Yeah.
think.
Definitely.
And again, I would say as far as the drug goes here, there's more drugs going on here than in, per se, South Dakota, but much less than in most major cities.
Like LA or San Francisco, yeah.
The next door neighbors have been here for many years. I don't know that they're going to be here much longer. They're in their 80s, and they lived out here almost because they had to, because they were dog rescue people, and they had at one time 14 dogs, and so they fenced off a nice area,
Wow.
and they have 14 dogs, and they raise terminal dogs, or you know what I'm saying.
Another thing too is, in a lot of ways, Slab City is really an entertainment center
Uh-huh.
because you meet such a cross section of people, and you
Steve.
start to realize that how much real smart people are out there that you wouldn't even cross the street and give them a nickel because of what they look like.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people,
Right.
You know, and yet they are talented. You wouldn't believe the talented people out here. And it's just amazing.
But one thing I would like to add is I don't think children between the age of 6 and 16 should be here.
You
I
don't think they
it
should?
is too adult themed and too much danger of of bad influences, and not actually knowing where the background maybe of the person that you have known for a while here is of.
Yeah.
So I would not recommend it for small children.
Oh, I was surprised to see yesterday kids getting off a school bus and
Yes.
walking home with backpacks. I was like, I never even dawned on me that there might be families and kids out here.
It's true. A lot of garbage at Slab City. A lot of people left garbage, and some people's yards look bad like garbage. It's sad, but it is what they have went and got out of the garbage to make a living with, to use as
Parts, art,
and they're
fixing things.
chairs, anything. But there was a lot of garbage here. In the last few years, there are people that come around that are conscious and do pick up garbage from that's been here for years. And so I've noticed in the 7 seasons we've been here, or 8, much cleaner. Without mentioning names, there's 2 people on the slab. Holy moly, can they make a mess? And they're good at it, and they move from camp to camp, make a mess. And somebody seems to come behind them, and there was a gentleman that came with a school bus. I think it was 3 kids.
Yeah.
And he was wanted to get off the grid anti-government situation, and so his children were here. But he went to the worst looking camps that nobody was living in, that was full of garbage, and him and the kids would clean them up. It would take them about a month,
Wow.
and they would clean it up to super clean.
And they lived here.
Oh yes.
Oh, wow.
They lived here for a couple of years.
Wow.
I haven't seen them this year. They were
Most
here.
regular residents are cleaning up after themselves. It's,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And also, the clubs were paying for great big garbage bins
Oh, wow.
that everybody was dumping their garbage in and stuff like that.
With our garbage, we burn the paper. A lot of people burn here. We don't burn the plastic because it stinks.
Oh, if somebody was burning plastic,
many
I'm
people
actually
burn
thinking I'm
plastic.
going to move camp tonight because they're burning their garbage and it's bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we go to town, and we drive up behind the grocery stores. We go to other towns, and we drive behind
Yeah.
stores with dumpsters.
Oh, what do you like most about Slab City?
Well, the weather, obviously, in the wintertime, but it's just the no rules things. I can have a mess over there, and I actually, if I watch it, and if once people get to know you and stuff, you can leave anything laying around that you don't have to pick all your tools up. You don't have to. It's it's nice, and the dogs are happy.
Yeah.
That's, I think the main part is that there's just the rules. You can do and build as you please.
Yeah.
And
No permits required.
right,
No red tape.
the only place in California I'm sure you can dig an outhouse. It is a terrific place to come out to and relax, and
Yeah.
and there is a very good nightlife, and to meet people.
Any final thoughts on Slab City and why you come and what you love about it?
Yes, I do.
Yes, please.
Because actually, I think that the, oh my God, I can't even think of all of the news companies, all of the big broadcasting companies that have sent, like National Geographic and all kinds of things that have come out here and truthfully, falsely represented what Slab City is. All they were interested in was the fire that happened down the street, or things like that, which got news attention, okay? But as far as what Slab City is really about and the danger and all that kind of crap that they feed you,
Yep.
it's just bullshit.
Yep.
Excuse my language, but that's what it is.
You can say bullshit. I say it all the time.
You know.
You think there is that kind of misrepresentation by the media?
I don't think it's really intentional in a lot of ways.
Okay.
I think that part of it is just because of the thing of, if you're a newscaster and you come out here and you're trying to make a story, you want as much attention to that story as possible.
Right.
And so any little thing that happens that's really, explosive, then that's what gets your attention.
Yeah.
And the real basic part of Slab City doesn't get your attention.
Yeah.
You have to dig deeper into Slab City to really find out what it's really like.